sweaters and I had the slick back hair, I used to buzz my head too. And stand outside a boba shop with spit puddles all over the ground. How many of you guys know something like that? Right? And that was my lifestyle. I was like, dude, I'm too cool for school, too cool for anything. And after a while, I just realized I was broke. And Mr. Julian Doan was telling me when I first got started in this industry, you've got to change some things in your life, otherwise nothing's going to change. And I made a commitment. The same as you made a commitment today to come out here. You're making a commitment to what? You paid some money to invest in yourself. That's something I didn't even understand in the beginning. How many guys, when somebody told you to invest in yourself in the beginning, you didn't even know what the hell that was? Yes. I'm like, I can do that? And I came to start seeing these trainings and came to start seeing, personal development books, videos, right? I started listening to something called Jim Rohn. How many of you guys know who Jim Rohn is? Right? My life started to change. Why? Because I changed my mindset. And I feel like it's so key and essential that my topic today is mindset, because for me, I'm so young that for some of you guys, you have more life experience than I have. And for some of you guys in the room, you have more business experience than I have. And I'm standing here today humble because I have these results in this business, not because I'm good, not because I'm talented, right? But because I was able to go out there and appreciate changing your mindset in this business. Right? I found out when I came here that your attitude ultimately will go out there and change and shape the actions you take. Right? And the actions you take are going to go out there and they're going to affect your philosophies. They're going to affect every single thing you do every single day, and eventually, in the end, it's going to affect your lifestyle. And my mentor told me if you want to have a good lifestyle, you got to start with a good attitude. Right? He said everything starts in your mind. Every great achievement was achieved twice, once in mind and once in reality. Yes. And I was like, you're lame. But I started to realize that mindsets are a really huge part in this business. Your attitude towards this business. For some of you guys, your attitude is so different right now because of the excitement that was built up from the last 2 days, that when you went to that party, when you went and talked to your people over the phone, you started closing people you didn't even know you could close. I heard there were some people that were closing people without even showing them the business to buy packages over the phone. Wow. Right? How many of you guys before this event were struggling to close somebody and you were putting the products on them? Right? You're like, dude, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I didn't nail buff them right or something. You're showing the product and you're just speaking over the phone and you can get somebody to buy a package. Why? Because you're committed, because your attitude has changed, because now you have a different mindset. Wow. And for me, I didn't understand that in the beginning, and that's the reason why I feel like this is so important, because it took me about 15 months to really capture this information. Been able to achieve a lot of results, not because I'm special, but because I got around a group of people that were very, very successful, that had the right mindset, and I just adopted it. And I'm encouraging you today, whoever you are in the room that made that decision already, to adopt a new mindset today. But it's not just about changing your attitude. You've got to take new action too. Right? But if you guys are ready to jump into the slides, say I'm ready. Ready! Cool. So mindset. What we're going to go over today is the 8 proven mindset principles to ensure that you will say, I am taking my business to the next level. Woo! Right? Yeah. There it is. How many guys are excited to start saying to yourself, I am taking my business to the next level? Say I. I. Right? So number 1, determine your reason why. When the why is strong, the how is easy. When the why is not that strong, the how is impossible. When you have a weak why, you'll never accomplish anything. See, when I came into this business, I didn't even know what the word acronym is, just so you guys know, but they started teaching me a bunch of acronyms. Right? I don't know why in this business they love acronyms and love animals. But why? When Julian and a couple other of my mentors shared this with me, they told me, look, why, W-H-Y, what it stands for is what hurts you and what heals you. Wow. Right? I also believe that it stands for what haunts you. Right? Why what hurts you first? We'll start with that. Well, every single one of you in this room, but especially for those of you that made a decision over the past 2 days, you have an unmet need. There's something you want to do in your life. There's something you need to do in your life. There's somebody you need to take care of. There's somebody you need to go out there and help out, and you can't do that in your current situation. You have an unmet need, and that might hurt you. For me, what was my unmet need? I found out about 2 years ago. That my single mom, was making about $15,000 a year. And for those of you that don't know about money, that's not a lot of money. I was making that about almost that at my job at 7-Eleven. And when growing up, I never really knew why me and my older brother never really had much. Why we weren't, given a lot. But my mom always gave us, a lot of wealth and love, just not in money. And when I found out that she wasn't making that much money, it kind of hurt me. Because I would never see her hanging out with her friends. I would never see her go on vacation. She always looked depressed, but she never really complained to us. And what hurt me was just not having the ability to go out there and help her. And one of the main reasons why I went out and started working at 7-Eleven, just so you guys know, I'm not passionate about taquitos and Slurpees. The reason why I worked there is I just needed to make money. And straight after high school, started working at 7-Eleven. And for me, it sucked. Every day I hated it, I hated my life, I started hating everybody, started hating my friends. And I realized I needed to do something, but I just didn't have anything. There was so much that was hurting me. So when I came to this business, my mentor told me, he was like, what hurts you? And I was like, the fact that I can't retire my mom, the fact that my mom comes home late at night, and I'm not there to see her because I'm at work. When I come home, she's sleeping. When I wake up, she's gone. And that there's nothing that I can do about that. That hurts me. And I know there's some of you here today, there's something that hurts you. There's something that's been bothering you, there's something that you've been wanting to do in your life, and you know what it is. And I'm telling you, you've got to have a why that's so strong that it's going to make you cry. Right now, what heals you? On a brighter note. What's going to heal you? What can we do for you that'll make you feel like that small bit of emptiness in your heart and in your mind that you want to fill up? What can we do to help fix that? What's something that you want to fix in your life? How many of you guys in the room want to retire your parents? Say aye. Aye. How many of you guys want to be able to go out there and live a lifestyle second to none? Say aye. Aye. How many of you guys want to go out there and just change the world one agent at a time? Say aye. Aye. And for me, when I saw that, I was like, dang. But there's also one more thing. What haunts you? Why? Because you guys are going to determine, you're going to find a reason why today. You're going to find a reason why in this business, in your life, that you want to stick around a purpose. And how many of you guys know that Seacret can take care of that purpose? Yeah. 4 of you, right? I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Right? But you're going to find out that Seacret can do that. It can take care of that for you. But for me, what I found out through the last 16 months is why also stands for what haunts you. Why? Because now that you know that it's possible, now that you know you can take care of the people that you want to take care of, now that you know you can go out there and live a lifestyle second to none, now that you know you can go out there and affect more lives than you can even reach, if you give up, that's going to haunt you forever. And that for me was so effective, because I was like, dang, do I want to be at the end of my life saying, look, I lived a great life, I was able to go out there and change the industry, change people's lives, go out there and change my own life, change the Matsumoto legacy forever for you guys, whatever your dynasty or your legacy is. I said dynasty because I'm Asian. Something like your bloodline. If you can change your history and you don't do anything about it, it's going to haunt you forever. But when you have a strong why, right, the how is easy. When you have a weak why, the how is impossible. So I'm sharing a little bit example that was shared in a story about a gentleman that in the beginning didn't really have a strong motivation, but found one, and it made the biggest difference. So for you guys, I just want you to bear with me. Put on your mental jogging track shoes, and kind of imagine there's a gentleman who's about 33 years old, going through life, living his life, just like everybody else. And gets to the age of 33, he has a family. Him and his wife and his daughter. Average home. And he's about 300 pounds overweight. So not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger. This gentleman starts having breathing problems, starts having heart problems, goes to the doctor, and the doctor tells him, look, you're a little bit overweight. I don't know if you noticed recently. Do you know what I'm here? And what happened was he told him, look, you're in risk of heart failure, you're in risk of getting diabetes, right? You have some serious health conditions. What you need to do is go to the gym and start eating healthier. And this guy was like, dang, that's pretty serious. He's like, yeah, you could die. He's like, all right, I'm going to go get a gym pass. It's a gym pass at 24-hour fitness, right? Or maybe it was LA Fitness, I'm not 100% sure. Facts. This is a completely factual story. And started eating healthier. And how many guys in the room, by show of hands, know somebody that got a gym pass and eating this year and they haven't been to the gym since? Yes. Myself included. And this gentleman stopped working out about 2 months later. Why? Because it got a little bit uncomfortable. How many guys, when you guys started this business, you started doing some things and it was a little bit uncomfortable? Yes. When you start picking up that phone, you're like, I don't know why my phone somehow weighs 1,000 pounds a day. Maybe they installed a new chip or something. Maybe it was that new update on my iPhone. It's increasingly heavy today now that I don't want to make three-way calls, right? Or you suddenly found that you were a lot busier. Like, oh, my laundry, my dog, I'm going to do all this stuff. You know, and what happened was this gentleman got uncomfortable. He was doing things that he wasn't used to. And his only motivation was himself. And so what happened is, he stopped working out, he stopped going to the gym, he stopped eating healthier, and went back to his old habits, went back to his old lifestyle. And about 5 months later, some unfortunate events happened. And for some of you guys, some unfortunate events happened before this business, happened during this business, but there's some unfortunate events that happened in your life. And what happened for this gentleman is his daughter's kidney exploded. If you can imagine that, right? She's fatally ill. Rushed to the emergency room, and he looks at the doctor. He's like, look, what can I do? Anything that's humanly possible, I'm going to do it. What options do we have? And he said, well, look, we can put her on a waiting list, right, for a transplant. It'll take about 8 months, but she might die in 6. Or we can, you know what I mean, we can use you as a donor. And obviously his first instinct was, let's not wait, I'm ready. And the doctor looked at him and said, but the unfortunate thing is, we can't operate on you. Why? Because you're at risk of dying. And I took an oath, I can't operate on somebody that I might kill during an operation. And he's like, so what are you telling me? He's like, well, the only real option is for you to go out there, work out, and eat healthy. And if you can lose 150 pounds in 6 months, we could probably operate on you. What do you think he did in the next 6 months? Now, what's the difference is the attitude. What's the difference is the why. What's the difference is the reason, a purpose to actually do something about his life. Do something in his life. Doesn't matter how uncomfortable it got. Doesn't matter what he had to do, he was going to do it. Why? Because it mattered that much. And for some of you guys, when you came to this international convention, you found out that the theme was time. You understood that there's only so much of it that we have. And you found a new purpose. How many of you guys, before this event, if you didn't come here, you probably wouldn't still be in this business by show of hands? You don't have to raise your hand, it's okay. I'll stay with that's probably not the best one. How many of you guys found new purpose coming to this event? Say aye. Aye. But what we have to do is take new action. So number one, again, from the 8, proven. Proven, I love that word, proven. Proven. Why? Because it doesn't say 8 supposed mindset principles. It doesn't say 8 maybe mindset principles. It says 8 proven mindset principles to ensure that you will say, I am taking my business to the next what? Level. The first one is determine your reason why. Number 2, make a decision. Draw the line in the sand. If you're taking notes, I would take notes on this. Decide comes from the Latin roots, D and obviously side, but side stands or means to kill or to cut off. Actually, it just means to kill or to cut. D is off, so just getting really technical. Those of you that are like, man, no, what's wrong? Right? But to cut off. And when I got started in this industry, my mentor explained this to me. I was like, I never really knew. I never really looked into the definitions of words or the meanings of words. And he told me, when you decide something, you cut off all other options. When you decide to succeed, there's no other option. right? Some of you guys say you're committed to this business, say you decided, say you want to go out there and become successful, but then, you know what I mean, your favorite TV show comes on. You're like, oh, well, my financial independence can wait till after Family Guy. Right? For me, it was Sesame Street. Gotta learn how to ABC. But you say you decided, but there's more things that in your life that you want to do. The short-term lollipop instead of the long-term bicycle that you want. And if you truly decide there's nothing else in your life that you're going to go after. And I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not saying quit school. I'm not saying quit whatever you're doing right now. I'm not saying quit taking care of your family. But if you decided on this business, there should be nothing else on your mind when you're here working this business.
Yeah. Right.
All right, let's give that a round of applause. And for me, when I first got started in this business, I was so caught up in so many things. My friends wanted to go to a kickback. If you guys don't know what a kickback is, it's just the Asian word for parties or whatever. I don't know. They wanted to go to a kickback on Friday. And for us, what a kickback was about like 8, 9 guys just coming together and doing things that underage people shouldn't do. And, if a girl came over, it then became a party. So that's what we look forward to. But that's what I used to look forward to, Friday nights. And when I got started in this business, my mentor told me, look, you've got to decide that this is something you want to do. You've got to decide that you want to make a difference in your life. A decision means to cut off all other options. And I'm asking you today, what are your other options? What are you looking at? What do you think you have that'll change your life as much as Seacret? Some of you are like, well, you know what I mean? I'm young, right? That's what I used to think. Why? Because I look like I'm 4 years old. I used to feel like I'm young. You know what I mean? I haven't even used a recover mask. I can't even imagine using that. I might turn into a sperm. Start swimming in meetings. But I haven't truly let's just stop joking around, man. I hadn't truly decided. I thought I wanted to do Seacret, but there were other things that kept coming onto my mind, and my mentor told me, he's like, look, until you truly decided, you'll never have results in this business. Wow. A decision isn't just saying, I want to be successful. A decision isn't just, hey, I want to go out there, I'm committed to retire my mom, I found out my wife, I've decided. That's not a decision. A decision is when you decide to do something and you take new action. Yeah. So there are new results. If you don't take new action, how can you ever get new results? Ever. Just doesn't happen. That's like saying, I want to lose weight. I want to get fit. And then you're like, but I'm not committed to lifting a weight. And how quickly can you make a decision? Well, you guys got those little thingies, whatever they're called, with sand in it yesterday? Hourglass. I guess it's before my time. Right? But you can make a decision anytime. Right now, some of you guys are already making a decision. And for those of you that made your decision in the last 2 days, I know you're taking more notes than ever before. All right, there's someone in this room that said, look, I came here today, I came here for a reason. I invested money in this business, I invested money in this trip for a reason. There's some people that flew here. How many guys flew to this international event? Wow. I found out there were some people that drove for over 4 days just to come here to this event. Right? And the crazy part is, there's some people in this room that sacrifice so much, and you come to a training like this, or you come to the trainings like yesterday, and you're not committed to investing in your own future. You're like, dude, notes are incredible, but I'm a little bit tired. Great. Learning is incredible, but I need to use the bathroom. That's great too. It just tells me if you truly made a decision or not. When you truly decided, it's funny how things just fall together. Right? I think it's Ralph Waldo Emerson that says, when a decision is made, the universe conspires to make it happen for you.
Yes. 100%.
And for me, it's crazy. I can't even, there's so many stories of our organization who made a decision and did some crazy things. Crazy things. Crazy things like adding 50 special agents at once. Crazy stuff. And it's not because we're talented, it's not because we're special. So I want you guys to know, if any of you guys in the room today, if you're sitting there, if you were given the same circumstances that I was given, got around the same mentors that I had, and you took the same action that I took, you'd have the same, if not better, results. I'm nothing special. One reason I'm here today is because, first of all, I've had some results because I just got around the right people, and you're going to hear from them today. Some incredible leaders. How many of you guys know who Chiho is? Yeah! How many of you guys know who Tim Togikawa is? Yeah! And who in this room knows who Julian Doan is? And when I got around these mentors, all I did is I said, look, I'm going to decide today to take more notes than ever before. I'm going to decide today to, look, commit to my future. I'm going to decide, look, I can take more notes than the person next to me, but this business isn't about the person next to me. It isn't about the person to the left of me. It isn't about the person to the right of me. It isn't about the person behind me or in front of me. This business is about me. Now, do we take care of other people? Yes. But if you've decided on something, it doesn't matter what your neighbor thinks of you. I used to bring my friends to these meetings and take notes, and all of them used to dress up in Dickies and high socks coming to these meetings. I didn't even know what a dress shirt was, but I still put on a rugged one. I used to have these like parachute pants, you know, like flaps over. I used to have these big bowling-looking shoes. I looked like a brown clown. And I was coming to these events, and my friends would make fun of me. But after a while, I just said, look, it doesn't really matter. Because I've decided. I've decided on my future. How many guys in this room today have decided on your future?
Yes. Yes.
So, number three. It's probably one of the most important things for me. Number three of the 8 proven mindset principles to ensure that you will say, I am taking my business to the next level, is you got to understand there's a learning curve. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Right? Every professional was once an amateur. Right? Every teacher was once a student. And for you guys, you need to understand that you've got to look at yourself with a different image. I used to make the excuse that I'm too young. I used to let that buy all of my futures away. I used to say, look, why do I got to get so committed now? I've got 100 years left to live. I just turned 2 yesterday, so got a long lifestyle a long lifetime to live. And I used to make that my excuse on why I can't become successful. Some of you guys are very, very young. Some of you guys are a little bit more mature. Some of you guys have experienced more in life. But no matter what age you are, from 8 to 80, you got to understand this business is a process, it's not an event. You're not going to come to this event today and become successful. Actually, I take that back, you can do that. You're not going to come today to this event and change your life. You can change your direction, you're not going to change your destination. You can change your direction, you're not going to change your destination, right? In a day. You can't go from being broke to being a millionaire in one day because you made a decision. But you can get on the right path. Yeah. Right? There's a learning curve, though. It's going to take some time. You've got to commit. And every day you've got to say, look, I'm going to commit today to be successful. There was a mentor that I was listening to that talked about it. How many of you guys in the room have ever said, I'm going to become successful someday? Yeah. Right? I just know it. That's what I used to say. I used to say, I'm going to be successful someday. Someday, I know it's going to happen. I'm around the right people. I'm around the right leaders. I'm learning the right information. Someday I'll be successful. And what I did after that was I busted out a calendar, and I found out there were 7 days on that calendar. There was 30 days, or 31 days, or even 28 days in a month. There was 12 months. But throughout that entire calendar, there was no day on there that said someday. Wow. I saw Monday, I saw Tuesday, I saw Wednesday, I saw Thursday, right? I saw Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I saw different months, but I never saw someday on that calendar. And then I found out success was a process. You can never become successful. That's not a destination. You choose to do that every single day. You can never arrive because you can always do better. There's a learning curve. And I found out that if you want to be successful, you got to commit to every single day. Some of us we committed yesterday. Some of us committed on Friday. Some of us committed on Thursday. But let's say Wednesday, you're like, well, the international event's coming up. I don't know if I want to commit too much. I don't know if I got to make some calls. I just want to relax, get ready for the event. I just got to get my stuff ready. You're like, I'm not going to make any calls, but I know there's one person I could have called. You've got to commit every single day, every single moment. You've got to decide every single day that you want to be successful. I kind of think of it, and Mr. Julian Doan brought this up a while ago, but it hit me so hard because I used to read these books. How many of you guys have ever read those Goosebump books? Yeah. So you can read it, and at the bottom it says if you want to make this decision, flip to this page, and there'll be a new story, and you go and you read it and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right? And for me, what I looked at was my life like that. I was like, what if every decision that I had would change the rest of my story forever? What if today, if I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired right now, or this guy speaks a little bit weird, or he still looks like he's 5, I don't know if I can understand him. How did they teach him on the alphabet that fast? I don't know how this guy is up here. I don't know if I want to listen. I don't know if I want to pay attention. And you decide to make a decision not to take notes. It's going to change your life forever. Or maybe you decided that you're going to take notes. Right? Maybe you decided that you want to change your life. Maybe you decided in the last 2 days, even though you're tired as heck from the party last night, because you're like, dude, I'm going to go all out. Right? I heard that it was crazy. How many of you guys, by show of hands, went to the party last night? Yeah! Right? You can tell they went. Right? But even though you went, you're still committed. You decide. I understood there was a decision I had to make every single day, and that there was a learning curve. And if I made the right decision, inevitably at the end of my life, it would have the result that I wanted.
That's right.
Right? So moving on. How many of you guys are ready for number 4?
Yeah.
Right? Let me hear it again like you guys are excited. How many of you guys are excited for number 4? Yeah! Of the 8 proven mindset principles to ensure that you will say, I am taking my business to the what?
Next level.
To the what?
Next level.
To the what?
Next level.
Develop the right mental attitude. I'm about to lose my voice and go through puberty. Right? Just cracked a little bit. Develop the right mental attitude. What's developing the right mental attitude? Developing the right mental attitude is understanding that you can't have the rainbow without the rain. But not only that, you can't have the rainbow without the sun either. Now, why is that important? Well, there's good and there's bad. What I know that is constant, though, is the sun. The rain, that might come, that might go. But how many of you guys know that there will always be a morning in the morning?
Yes.
And if you have a constant positive attitude all the time, things will just turn out right for you. Now, for some of you, you're like, but I get a lot of rain in my life. I don't know if I can have the right mental attitude. There's a lot of rain. Right? Some of you are like, dude, I get blizzards. We get rain. Right? I get hail, snowstorms. There's even like a tsunami in my life. But what I know is constant is in the morning there will always be the sun. You gotta have that positive mental attitude. Leave your problems at the door. Leave your problems in your car. I can assure you they'll be back there when you come back.
Yeah.
If your car's not there, you've got bigger problems. Credits to Julian Doan. But for me, what I started to understand early on was a positive mental attitude. That no matter whether I was happy about something that happened or sad, it really doesn't change what happened. Right? What happened, happened. All we can do is affect our future. Yep. Some of you are like, well, my friend quit, or this happened. Believe me, everybody's friends quit. There's nobody in this room that's like, I signed up everybody and everybody's here forever. Right? Things are going to happen. Rain's going to happen. Hail might happen. Blizzards might happen. Tsunamis might happen. But if you know that your positive mindset is constant, that it's there like the morning, it's there like the sun, I guarantee you, your business will be taken to the next level.
Yeah.
Don't talk about your problems. Don't talk about them. Nobody really wants to hear about it. Make sure you have the right mental attitude. So number 5 of the 8 proven mindset principles to ensure that you will say, I am taking my business to the next level, is understand some will, some wait. So what next? I'm going to go over this example really quickly, but this is something that always gets me every single time that I think about it because it's so true. Is you've got to think about this business like this. You guys have an opportunity. You guys have something to give something to somebody. And when you go out there, if you can imagine it like this, if you were to go through a mall right now, whatever mall's the closest mall to your nearby neighborhood, or your home, or your back home, wherever you are, and I were to give you a challenge. And I was to give you a stack of $10,000, crisp $100 bills, $100 bills. And I was to say, look, if you commit to this challenge, what I'm going to have you do is walk through that mall and hand out $100 bills to 100 different people. And if you do that within an hour, I'll pay you $15,000. So not only did you help other people, but you're going to go out there and you're going to get more money back. How many of you guys will commit to that challenge?
Yes.
Right? And then I gave another challenge to another group, and I said, hey, look, I want you to go to this mall, and I want you to beg 100 different people for 1 penny. Forget that. I want you to beg them for the lint in their pocket. I want you to go to this mall, and I want you to beg every single person that you meet for lint in their pocket, which doesn't even cost them anything. Actually, they want to get rid of it. And I gave you an hour to do that, but you had to get 100 separate, different pieces of lint. That's all you had to do. How many of you guys would rather get the $10,000 and walk through the mall? Right? Why? Because what I found out is when you go out there and you feel like you need something from somebody, usually they're not open to listen to you. But when you understand that some will, some won't, some wait, and there's someone always waiting, and that you have the opportunity, how can you not? If somebody asks you questions and they're being super negative, they're like, why do you want to give me a $100 bill? Would you stand there and explain, if you only had an hour, why you wanted to give them a $100 bill?
No. That's
No.
nice.
So understand, you have the opportunity. Stop waiting. Someone's waiting, right? The 8 proven mindset principles. Number 6. This is one of the most important ones that I really love. This must have long-term thinking. Right? Number 6 out of the 8 proven mindset principles to ensure that you'll say, I'm taking my business to the next level is long-term thinking. With you guys, through these last 2 days, what you've done is you've planted your seed in secret. You planted your seed. And how insecure would the farmer be if you planted your seed and someone came up to you the next day and said, hey, where's your harvest? And you started crying. Hey, where's your Lamborghini? And you started crying. How insecure would that be?
Super.
For me, when I got started in this business, my other mentor actually practiced martial arts. I know that I'm not that good at it, but I practiced martial arts, and my martial arts teacher shared with me this example of when you plant your seed, what's going to happen is, in the very, 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 very beginning, what's going to happen is you need to nurture it more than anything.
Yes.
You need to protect it. Nobody's going to even know that you planted it. Right? You bury it under the mud, under the dirt, you put the fertilizer on it, put the water. That's the universities. Right? The fertilizer is what? Like the regional events.
Yeah.
Right? Making sure it has good soil, a good foundation. That's a good company. And I'm telling you right now, we have the best soil.
Right.
Right? You planted your seed. People can't see that though. So you protect it. You water it. You nurture it. After a while, what's going to happen is you're going to see a sprout. Maybe you hit superstar. You see a sprout, but you still need to protect it. Why? Because anybody walking by might pull that out. Even your family might walk by and they say, hey, look, that looks like a weed. Let me help you out with that. Your plant starts to grow, right? It comes into a bush. Then maybe people are starting to recognize it. They're like, dang, maybe your plant sucks. It's a little bush. I thought you said it was going to make you wealthy. You only made a couple $1,000. How long have you been in it? Oh, you got to invest again? You got to put more water on your plant?
Wow.
Oh, you got to put more fertilizer on your plant? But it's just a small bush. Why would you do that? But if you commit, if you know that there's long-term thinking, over time what's going to happen is your bush is going to grow into a small tree.
Nice.
Now it takes a little bit more effort. If somebody wants to take that down, they're going to have to take an axe to it. What is that? Maybe they're like, I'm going to kick you out of the house if you keep doing that business. You're like, you better quit. Or maybe you have some real emotional stuff that happens with your family, with your life. Right? But if you keep watering it, if you keep nurturing it, if you keep putting fertilizer on it, if you keep going to the universities, you keep committing to the system, you keep committing to making the right decisions, what's going to happen is over time, you're going to have a tall redwood tree. Right? But that's not even the greatest part. That's your own tree, right? It'll take days for somebody to cut that down. Months, even. Some people won't even be able to. But what's powerful is you commit long enough in this industry, you're going to affect the lives of others, and eventually you have a forest.
Wow.
Nice.
sometimes they quit. And you let your emotions dip. But the crazy part is, that hasn't affected the opportunity. That hasn't affected the business. That just affected you because you let it affect you.
Wow. It is.
I'm just letting you know right now, just because your best friends started the business doesn't mean you're going to become wealthy. And just because they didn't doesn't mean you're not. Right? There is no way to get off this unless you understand that it's an even keel. You've got to get on an even keel. Right? And the last one, number 8. Let's give number 8 a round of applause.
Yeah.
Number 8 proven mindset thinking to ensure that people say, I am taking my business to the next. What?
Level.
Is never quit. Never, ever quit. Never quit. I like that. But I don't want to. Struggle is less painful than regret. Pain is only temporary. Quitting is forever. Right? There was a speaker I was listening to, and he said, look, don't cry to quit. You're already in pain.
Right. Yes.
Why would you cry to quit? You struggle for nothing? You've already made the sacrifices. Why would you cry to quit? Cry to keep going.
Yes.
Right? The pain of regret weighs in ounces, or weighs in tons, while the pain of discipline weighs in ounces.
That's right.
Never quit. Ever. Believe me, there are going to be times where you want to quit. I can't even count the times that I wanted to quit this business. I can't. But you know what happens is I always let my mindset pull through. I always say, look, I'm going to have a positive attitude. I know that this is maybe just a hailstorm in my life. I know that I've determined my reason why, so I'm committed. I know that I've got to have long-term thinking. I know that some will, some won't, some are waiting, so who's next? And I know that there's an emotional roller coaster. I know I've got to get committed, I've got to make a decision, and that's why I'll never quit.
Yes.
And some of you guys today are already saying to yourselves, I will never quit. But commit to it. Follow through, right? You were born to win. I got to go this really fast. So you were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win. Right now, we're planning, we're preparing to win. What you're doing right now is you're preparing to win. You're taking notes. You're investing in your mindset. You're investing in yourself. And if you prepare the right way, you can start to expect to win.
Yes.
All right, so Zig Ziglar says it best. I don't think I could have ever made that quote up. So we owe it to him. The 6 essential characteristics to ensure that you will say, I am taking my business to the next level. The first one is desire. Just so you guys know, these are all Phil Jackson's rings. He has so many, he has to put some of them on his toes. Right? Have desire. Know that you want this business to work for you. Have team pride. Make sure that you have desire in your life. Be a meaningful specific. Don't be a wandering generality. Number 2 is work ethic. Nothing beats hard work. When hard work stops working, that's when you should be afraid. Work ethic. The only thing that you should, the only thing you should never hear from anybody is that they outwork you. Right? How many of you guys know who Tim Hurd is?
Yes.
I'll share this really quick because I know I'm going over my time for the day. There was a regional event before, it was the day before one of the regional events, and I went to Tim's house. And he asked a favor. He said, hey, Ian, I need some help. I need to be able to put these CDs together. How many of you guys have ever gotten a Tim Hurd CD before? Yeah! Right? And he had this little machine, but it was all one by one, and I had to make over 500 of them. And I was at his house. We got there around like 5 p.m., and I left 5 a.m. before the regional event. And I was doing that for 12 hours straight, just putting CDs together with a little sticker and everything. Doing that for 12 hours. And I thought that I was working hard. But what I noticed, and this is why I will never not work hard around Tim or anybody, is because when I saw him there, For that entire 12 hours, his phone was constantly ringing. He was running around, pounding energy drinks, and making sure that everybody that he talked to was getting what they needed. And I was tired as hell just sitting there, moving my arm like this. This guy's running around, and I know that he didn't just wake up. And for me, the reason why I can work so hard in this business is because I know that the leaders that I have, the leaders that you guys have in your marketplaces, they work harder than anybody that you know.
That's right.
Let's give a round of applause for your leaders. But if you want to be a leader just like that, understand that you've got to take responsibility for your organization. You've got to take responsibility. You've got to understand you play a bigger role in this business. We only have a couple thousand people at this international event. Your role is so much bigger than you think, even if you got started yesterday. The reason why I say that is because in 15 years, understand that we are the ones that are going to shape this company.
That's right.
You're going to be making the decisions in this company. Understand your role is so much bigger than you think.
Right.
You're like, but I'm not a leader yet, so why should I work that hard? You are a leader. You've got to make the decision to be one. First of all, take the action, but you are a leader. You're one of the pioneers of this industry, no matter where you are. How can you take somebody that looks like they're 3 years old, who's not 3 years old, just so you guys know, and come into this industry and get so much results? It's just because I understood that there was so much more that I could do to this business, do for this business, do for myself. And I just took the responsibility. All right, so how do we work it? Get committed. All right, this is actually one of my favorite parts. I'm Japanese, just so you know. But the number 3 from the 6 essential characteristics to ensure that you will say, I am taking my business to the next level. Number 3 is commitment. Nobody wants to follow the kamikaze pilot that's been on over 100 missions. It's okay to laugh, I'm Japanese. So but there's a story and an example that I'm going to share really, really quickly. It's about a chicken and a pig. And it's about commitment. There's a chicken and a pig on a farm, and this is a completely factual story where the chicken and the pig were talking. Somehow they were speaking English. But the chicken and the pig were talking, and they're looking at each other, and the chicken looks at the pig, starts laughing or starts clucking, and it's like, I'm so committed to the breakfast. Like some of you guys say, I'm so committed to the business. And he looks at the pig and he's like, every morning I know that I've got to give up some of my eggs. I've got to give up some of myself to this farmer so that they can eat breakfast. And the pig looks at the chicken and starts laughing. You're committed? I got to admit, you make some sacrifices. But you're committed. Where's your mindset at? I'm committed. I know some of you guys are saying right now, I'm committed. But the pig looked at the chicken and said, I'm committed. I know that every single day that I wake up in the morning, that one day I will be the breakfast. How committed are you? There was one time where I was debating one international event, and I looked at Julian and I was like, look, I don't know. And he told me, he's like, look, how committed are you? And I was like, no, I'm committed to this business. I've sacrificed so much. I've done so much. And he looked at me, he's like, are you going to the international event? I told him at that time, no. And he looked at me, he's like, I knew you were a chicken. I knew you were committed as much as a chicken. And that's why you always be a chicken. So I got committed. Know that one day you're going to be successful. One day you're going to have success in your life. But you've got to get committed. You're like, oh, dude, I'll do business any day except on my birthday. Why not become successful and have every day be your birthday?
Yes.
You're like, I'm committed, but not on the weekends. Why not have so much success in this business that you have 6 Saturdays and a Sunday?
Yes.
Get committed. How committed are you? Right? The number 4 from the 6 essential characteristics to ensure I was saying, I am taking my business to the next level, is have a positive attitude. If you look at yourself for how you are, you'll only become worse. If you look at yourself for how you can be, you'll become who you should be. Wow. You think that I thought I would have success in this business? Do you think that I thought I would be able to come here in front of you guys and hopefully change one of your lives? Do you think that I thought I would ever have success? But I pushed it. I said, look, I'm committed. And I started realizing and started saying to myself, I want to see what my life would look like if I didn't go out there and make excuses. I want to see what my life would look like. I want to see what I can be, what I can do, what I can have. I want to see. I don't want to see what I think I can do. I don't want to see what I can hope I can do. I don't want to see what I wish I could do. I want to see what I could do if I didn't count the cost.
Wow.
And I realized that when I changed my mindset, when I got around these successful people and adopted their mindset, and adopted the way they thought, that again, it wasn't about the person in front of me, it wasn't about the person left me, behind me, or in front of me. Of course I had to take care of my team. Of course I knew that this business was more than about just me. But it started with how I viewed myself. It started with how I saw myself. And I'm asking you guys today, how do you see you? Look at yourself for something better than you are. Why? Because every one of your leaders does. It was so crazy when I heard some words from my mentor, Mr. Julian Doan, and it changed my life because nobody ever believed in me before. I was a punk, thought I was a gangster, and lame as heck. And somebody actually believed in me enough for me to feel like I couldn't let them down, and that's why I'm successful today. I'm not successful now. Why? Because I want to be so much more. Because there's so much left. But I'm home to be up here today to let you know, look, everybody sees so much more in you. What do you see in yourself? Number 5, out of the 6 essential characteristics to ensure that I will say, I'm taking my business to the what?
Next level.
To the what?
Next level.
It's have enthusiasm. Everybody say have enthusiasm.
Have enthusiasm.
With the thu, right?
Ooh.
Have enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
So weird. What are the last 4 letters of my enthusiasm? I-A-S-M. I am sold myself.
Yes.
How many of you guys in the room are sold out on Seacret? Let me ask you again, how many of you guys are sold out on Seacret?
Yeah!
You've got to have enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is caught, not taught.
Wow.
Have enthusiasm and urgency. How do you know that tomorrow will be there? All I know is that I have today. And if you knew that you couldn't fail in the next 30 days, what would you do? But you can't just say, wow, that's a cool way to think. You've got to act it. You've got to be it. You've got to make a decision. You've got to change your actions. I want you to write down, if you ever wrote down anything in your journal, if I knew that I couldn't fail. If I knew that I couldn't fail in the next 30 days, what would I do differently? And write it down and do it. Enthusiasm and urgency. Number 6, from the 6 essential characteristics to ensure you will say, I am taking my business to the next level, is be coachable. One of the most important things in the business is to not have an ego. It's to not have an ego. When you forget where you come from, that's when you go back.
Wow.
I want you guys to take a look at this photo over here. We have Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan, and we have Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant, both after winning the championship games. What's crazy is we have the Phil Jacksons of this industry in our business. You have the Phil Jacksons of this business as your leaders. They're in this room. Now, I know sometimes we forget that. Why? Because I understand one thing is a prophet will never be appreciated in their own land, and an artist will never be appreciated in their own time. But what happens is I understood you've got to be coachable to the leaders that you have. Why? Because they've been through the ditches. They've been through the gutter. They know the bad. They know the good. And they're here to guide you. Be coachable. This is undisputed that Phil Jackson knows how to create champions. Now, some people are like, well, maybe Tim just got lucky a couple times. I don't know. He's been in this industry for how long and had success for how long? I would be coachable. I was just naive enough to believe everything that they told me. Like, hey, you should get a journal. Hey, you should read personal development. Hey, you should listen to personal development. You should change your car in the mobile classroom. You should listen to this stuff. You should get around successful people. You should change your associations. And I was like, dude, I'm naive. I'll do it. I know some of you guys are really, really intelligent, and that's maybe why you're not having the results that you want, because you overthink a lot of things, but I'm telling you, just be coachable.
Right. Wow.
Instead of being like, well, I don't know if I should be doing it that way, I think that I figured out in my process of being very successful in my past life, I think I figured out a new way to invite that's a lot better. I've never been in this industry before, but I know how to invite my friends. Come on. Just be naive like me, please. Be coachable. And everything will work out. Personal development comes before the fortune.
Yes.
Your network will never exceed your self-worth. So that brings me to the end of my part, but before I do, I want to share the same story, just to end it off. That, I believe it was Betty that kind of shared it yesterday. I'm just tweaking it up a little bit again because I'm Asian. But she talked about this battle, about this old wise sage, this old wise monk and his son. Right? And the son comes up to the wise gentleman with the long beard and looks at him, and the father starts explaining something to the son. He's like, look, son, you're going to grow up one day and you're going to start feeling these battles. You probably already have them now. But every single day, I have this constant battle within myself of these two dragons. Right? I use dragons because I'm Asian. But I have this battle of two dragons. One represents bad, represents envy, jealousy, represents saying, hey, look, that person became successul, that sucks. Right? How could they do it? What do they deserve to have? Represents all the negative thoughts that you ever had. How many of you guys have ever had negative thoughts before? Right? The other one represented all the positive emotions. Represented coming to these events. Represented getting around successful people, changing your associations, changing your mindset. Making the right decisions. And he said there's this constant battle. And the son looks at him and says, well, Father, which one wins? And he looks at the son and says, the one that I feed, and more importantly, the one that I take action towards. Some of you guys are here today, and during even this training, you start having those battles. You're like, dang, I took some notes. I'm kind of tired again. Should I drink my energy drink? Should I pay attention now? What was that noise? There's something going on over here. Oh, my arm hurts. Oh, I'm a little bit tired from yesterday's dance. My legs feel like they're jello. I don't know. Oh, shit, I already missed that. Excuse me, like, oh, shoot, I already missed that. And you start having these battles and you let one win. But the only one that wins is the one that you let. The only one that wins is the one that you feed. And throughout the rest of this training, you're going to hear from speakers that are way better than me, that have achieved so much more in this industry than I have. You're going to hear from people that have changed hundreds and thousands of people's lives. And you've got to commit. Which dragon are you going to feed? So to end it up, I just tell you, make a decision. Get committed to say, hey, look, I'm taking my business to the what?
Next level.
I'm taking my business to the what?
Next level.
I'm taking my business to the what?
Next level.
And with that, we're going to bring up Miss Shrina Amazon to introduce the next speaker. Let's all give Miss Shrina Amazon.